Episode 6 starts with a dream, where Frank is at a dinner party with his family and Micro's family. But the dream turns dark when Frank's old team shows up, eliminates everyone, and Frank cannot stop them. Micro goes to get Curtis, telling him Frank is dying. Curtis rushes to help because he used to be a medic. He helps remove the arrow from Frank's shoulder, while Micro looks uncomfortable. Afterward, Curtis scolds Micro for involving Frank in this fight, making Micro feel guilty for bringing Frank into the danger. Russo and Dinah have a moment together, and after it is over, Russo finds a file on Frank. He gets upset that Dinah is still investigating Frank, believing Frank is dead. Dinah does not confirm anything, but Russo notes that they never found Frank's body and wonders about it. In Curtis's vet group, O'Connor talks about how tough he is, bragging about his hard experiences and making fun of the others. Curtis shares a story about training with a goat that was repeatedly injured for practice, eventually dying from too much damage. The story serves as a metaphor, with Frank being compared to the goat. Micro is watching his family arguing over his son, Zach, who stole a skateboard, hit his sister, and is being a bully. Micro looks upset because he wants to be there to discipline his son. Later, Frank is awake and getting his bandages changed when he hears a radio call saying, "Raven, this is Blackbird." Frank responds, revealing that Raven is his old friend, Russo. Micro asks if they need to worry about Russo knowing Frank is alive, but Frank defends him as a friend. At the hideout, Frank and Micro eat TV dinners and talk about Thanksgiving. Frank shares memories of his wife and kids, but it feels a bit too much, as Frank usually keeps his feelings hidden. Micro brings up Russo and asks if Frank thinks he should contact him. Frank goes on a rant, saying he had two families, his real one and his Marine family, and he loved being a Marine. He defends Russo, calling him family, while Micro remains skeptical. Dinah and Russo meet at the docks, where Dinah tells Russo that Frank is alive. Russo is surprised, and Dinah hopes he can lead her to Frank because she thinks he has information about her Kandahar case. Russo says he will try to find out more and appreciates that Dinah trusted him. Russo then goes to the vet center to see Curtis, who has known Frank is alive but kept it secret. Russo asks Curtis if he has seen Frank, and Curtis tries to stay calm. Russo tells Curtis that government people are looking for Frank and tries to convince him to help, but Curtis does not agree. Frank and Russo meet. They talk about how Frank looks bad, and Frank jokingly says he cannot be as pretty as Russo. Russo explains he found out Frank is alive through Dinah and wants to know why she is after Frank. Frank explains that Rollins and Schoonover were smuggling drugs using dead soldiers. Russo offers to help Frank if he drops the case and takes a way out of the situation. Frank shows up at Micro's house to apologize to his wife, Sarah, for missing dinner. Sarah talks about her tough family life, and Frank reassures her that things will get better. Meanwhile, Russo waits for Frank at the docks, but gets frustrated and leaves. He gets in an SUV where Rollins is waiting